Democratic and Labour Party, with my colleagues, with this city's mayor and our friend Lilian Barr, to call out in the strongest possible terms the very deliberate campaign of disinformation and smear that has been directed at Lilian over recent weeks. Folks, a man is in rumour and innuendo and very direct attack. Lilian has experienced disinformation and fairly constant abuse online, often with an implied and very direct racist undertone. This isn't, of course, a phenomenon that is unique to this city or unique to this region. Across the world, we are seeing an uptick in both disinformation and, I suppose, attempts to sow dissent and hatred against particular people. This obviously has an impact on Lilian's ability to do her job, a job she has earned and has conducted with dignity and with flair and with success, but it affects her ability to live her life now and in the period after she ceases to be the Lord Mayor. But it has wider democratic impacts as well in terms of our ability to bring a wider range of people into public life in political positions across this city, across this region and across the world. So we are hoping that as they have done, the people of this city who I think have supported democratic norms and their mayor and decent politics, that all people, particularly all political leaders, will stand with us and with Lilian as we call out this campaign and ask for their solidarity and their support in addressing it wherever they find it. I'm going to hand over to Lilian, who will set out the impact that this has been having in her life.
Folks, I'm going to make a statement and then I will let the question be answered by my party leader. The past week has been deeply distressing. Seeing lies, misinformation, and malicious attacks spread about me simply because of my firm and resolute commitment to fighting racism and injustice in our society has been incredibly disheartening. However, I have been humbled by the support of so many people who reached out to me directly, distancing themselves from such harmful rhetoric and reassuring me that those misinformed individuals do not represent more people in our city and beyond. I fully accept stepping forward as a political leader. You will be criticized and you will be scrutinized. That comes with the job. But what I will not accept, and what our society should never accept, is the malicious smearing of people's character and the spread of lies simply because of personal dislike or political disagreement. Every one of us in this council was elected in 2023. Every single member received a clear mandate from the people of this city. That mandate includes the right to be considered for positions of leadership. And whether some people like it or not, I believe I earned this position of being mayor of Derry City and Strabane district. I am both humbled and grateful for the opportunity given by my party to represent the city I love. Since taking up this position, I have given it my all. I have worked tirelessly to represent every single member of this community with dignity, to showcase the very best of Derry and Strabane, and to live with hope. I remain committed to pushing forward for growth and prosperity. And let me be very clear, I will not be deterred, not by name-calling, not by the smearing of my character, and certainly not by online attacks from those who offer nothing constructive to this society. But the response we have seen to holding people accountable for their threatening and dangerous behavior, including issuing death threats, has been appalling. And this issue goes far beyond me as an individual. It speaks a broader reality faced by people of color in this country. We know some will never accept people like me, a black person, whether born here or not, holding strategic political office. That is an unfortunate reality that we must face. But while I acknowledge this, we must never accept disrespect, defamation, and malicious lies rooted in prejudice. If political parties and the entire Northern Ireland executive are serious about inclusion and encouraging the full participation of people of color and other minoritized communities in public life, then real action must follow. Our hate crime legislation urgently needs to be updated to offer strong protection against targeted attacks like this. And when these attacks happen, we must respond, not just with words of solidarity, but with concrete actions through the justice system. The time for talking is over. It is time for real action. And I will leave you with this. I am a Maasai woman and a Derry girl. That combination speaks of resilience, it speaks of determination, and unwavering commitment to push forward, knowing that this city I represent, a city I am proud to call my home, will not stand for division or racism.
Posts and remarks were made about the severity of the sentence and how Lilian was to blame for that, and I suppose bringing in other bits of information about various other parts of the judicial system for which Lilian is not responsible, obviously, and I suppose a barrage of specific allegations, and then I suppose picked up from that comments on all sorts of posts on all sorts of issues about Lilian, as I say, spreading misinformation and making very direct references based on her characteristics, being a woman, being a black woman, and being an immigrant.
And of course you spoke about the wider issue about this being almost endemic across Northern Ireland.
I mean, this is very. It's not something that Lilian, she has borne the brunt of it, and it is absolutely not a political dynamic unique to this city or this region. But unfortunately, Lilian's name, Lilian's image, misinformation about Lilian is being spread not just in Derry, not just across Ireland and Northern Ireland, but across the world on sites for people who fetishise hate. And as I say, that has implications for Lilian's life, for her safety, for her future, and as I say, for the ability to attract people from all sorts of backgrounds to make that leap into representation for the community.
Madam Mayor, what sort of effect has it had on you personally?
It has been a very difficult time for me, obviously, and I have to do my job as the mayor of this city and district, but that doesn't mean I'm not a human being. It has affected the way I look at society, but mostly the way I perform my duties. I have to be looking behind my back rather than actually focusing on the work that I need to do for my city. And this is why we have come out today, because it has to be called out. We cannot ignore the fact that the impact is not just about me. It will be about any other person who wants to go out there and represent their city. And this has to stop.
Lilian, do you think that your personal safety is under threat now? How scared are you by all this abuse that you've received?
I want to believe that the city's got my back. I've got every single person who knows about security here, including the PSNI. They're all aware of what is going on and they're giving me a lot of support. I don't want to create a situation where there will be fear for others, but I do believe that we need to step up in safeguarding minoritized communities in this city and district, and also beyond, because it's not just about what is happening here, it's whatever is happening across the world. It is having an impact here, and we have to call it out, but also push back.
Have these threats been reported to the PSNI?
Yes.
And that's why we're here together as a team. I'm representing many people who have stood with and stood up for Lilian, and we want that to be something that politicians across the spectrum do, and other leaders, as many have done, because this isn't a problem, as I say, just directed at Lilian, but she has had a fairly acute experience of it, and I suppose she has been a figurehead for a lot of it, but it's not something for people to just breeze on quietly by and be glad it's not them. It is something, and as I say, in many cases it is clearly politically motivated because of Lilian's politics or characteristics, but we think it's something that across the political spectrum people need to stand up, challenge where they see it, and accept and make clear that we tolerate it.
Claire, what's your thoughts and feelings? You're having this press conference today for Lilian, obviously, about the hate that she's received. We know that there is anti-immigration marches planned for Derry and for Belfast. I suppose in the backdrop of all of this, how does it feel, and what is your message to those people that are planning to take part?
It's very worrying, particularly, as I say, for people from minority backgrounds, who many of whom have terrifying experiences last summer at an uptick race hate, and as I say, very, very targeted race hate. So we hope the response is similar to what it was for many communities last August, where people said very clearly that these are anti-racist, anti-fascist cities and towns and region that we have, that we stand up for diversity. We stand up for decent public services, and we demand decent public services in the allocation of education and health and housing and all of the things that people feel are scarce, but that people, regardless of their skin colour, regardless of their background, must be treated with dignity and safety. And the SDLP will be carrying that message forward at any opportunity, and we know many others will as well. We know that is the dominant politics of that region, which is why when it starts with a smear and with misinformation, it needs to be addressed very directly.
Molly, would you encourage people to make minorities to put themselves forward for election despite what's going on with your job?
Absolutely. We are home, and let me just send a very strong message for those who are saying we're not home. We are home. This is our place. We have chosen to make it our place, and we have the right to represent all our communities. For anyone who has ambition to get into politics, do not let this deter you, and this is why I'm standing here really strong, even though I know it is distressing. I am standing here to send a very clear message that we are not backing down.
Can I just ask, have you increased measures around your own personal safety in light of these things?
For myself, I mean, the council is very aware what is going on, and they are putting measures in place. The PSNI are also very aware. So I know I am safe. What we are not going to do is to ignore what is going on, because it's not just about me. As I have stated, it is far beyond myself. We know what has happened in Belfast. We know there is attacks every single day on the streets. A lot of people are getting attacked. They are being harassed, and it has to stop. So this is not just about me, it is about our whole community, and we know that majority of people in the north of Ireland are the good people, and they have welcomed us here. This is why I am the city mayor. That is because of the welcome nature of everyone in this society. But that small group, organized group of individuals who just want to cause division and harm to people of colour, we have to deal with them.
Can I ask you a final question about the situation regarding Brian Tierney? What's the latest in terms of the party's review? And are you aware of fresh allegations that have emerged in the press in recent days? What do you know about them? What can you say about them, if anything? And where are we at the moment?
Yeah, Kieran, you'll be aware that I'm here to stand with Lilian and address this very serious issue. The SDLP is continuing to investigate. We have sought with sensitivity any information about other claims. We have asked for that, and that will form part of an internal investigation. Brian, as you'll know, is no longer an SDLP councillor, but we are that is ongoing, and it wouldn't be appropriate for me to give commentary.
All right. Thanks, folks, for coming.